Testing. Alright, seems as though it's working. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no kidding. You want to become famous too? THM 85245610. Check this out. Ready? And banned. So yeah. Let's try and take this thing off. Just takeoff and landing.
Welcome to the SU-25T Frogfoot. The Frogfoot, also called the Gratch, is a very capable ground attack aircraft that can destroy most anything on the battlefield. Before we start blowing things up though, let's first learn how to start up this bird and taxi to the runway. The first thing I'll ask you to do is turn on the electrical power by pressing right shift and L.
Right shift and L.
With the electrical power now engaged, you can see that the heads-up display, or HUD, comes to life, as well as many instruments and cockpit lights. Before moving the aircraft, make sure that more than 3 minutes have elapsed in order to let the horizontal situation indicator gyro to align properly. Now that you have power, let's turn on the navigation lights by pressing right, control, and L. Next, let's close the canopy by pressing left, control, and C. Our next step is to start our two engines. Before you do so, make sure your throttle controller has a 0 power setting. Start the left engine by pressing right, alt, and home. With the left engine started, press right, control, and home to start the right engine. Off the lower left corner of the TV display is the engine gauge, with needles marked 1 and 2 for the two engines. When an engine is being started, one of the two green lights below the gauge will light. Once the light turns off, it indicates that the engine is ready for operation. In the lower left corner of the dash is an aircraft symbol that indicates the status of your flaps, landing gear, and air brake. Lower your flaps to the takeoff position by pressing left shift and F. We're now ready to taxi, so slowly increase the throttles by moving your throttle control forward or pressing page up. To reduce throttle, use your throttle controller or press page down. To use the wheel brakes, press W. Start rolling forward and turn to the left of the taxiway ahead. Press Z to steer left and press X to steer right.
102. Ассистент. Разрешаю руление на полосу 26.
Nice job. You're now heading in the right direction. Keep your taxi speed around 10 km per hour as indicated in the top left corner of the HUD. As you taxi, use small, smooth rudder corrections to keep you aligned on the center of the taxiway. At the fork, hang a right to reach the runway. As we taxi, you can go to external view by pressing F2 and return to the cockpit by pressing F1. You can zoom in and out using the keypad star and / keys. Rotate the views using the keypad directional keys. You've now reached the runway threshold. Taxi onto the runway to the right and align yourself down the length of it. Once aligned down the runway, increase thrust of both engines to maximum and use gentle inputs on the rudder, X and Z, to keep you tracking down the center line. When your airspeed, as indicated in the top left corner of the HUD, indicates about 250 kilometers per hour, gently pull back on the controller and allow the aircraft to fly itself off the runway. Don't yank the controller back to force the aircraft into the air. As mentioned before, your airspeed in kilometers per hour is indicated in the top left corner of the HUD. In the top right-hand corner of the HUD is your altitude in meters. Between the altitude and speed indications is your heading tape. With positive climb established, raise the landing gear by pressing G. In the center of the HUD is the pitch and roll indication, and along the right side of the HUD is your pitch ladder and vertical velocity indication. Go ahead and raise the climb by pressing left control.
Wrong button. There goes my canopy. No, lift my flaps up. Let's fire, motherfucker. Yep. Windows out of focus. How do I get my flaps up? That's what I need. Better turn around, I suppose. Still haven't worked this out. Guesstimation. Ooh. Escape doesn't. Oh, there we go. Finally worked. Adjust controls. We want flaps. Flaps up, flaps down, left control, F. Oh, look, see, it's got nothing. Landing position, but we don't have up, down.
This concludes this lesson on starting up the SC-25T, taxiing, and taking off. You can end the lesson now by pressing the escape key.
Back online. Or is that off? lights off. That must be on.
Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка.
She stalled.
Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Осталось 1500 килограмм. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. предельный угол атаки, предельная перегрузка, 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 предельный угол атаки, предельная перегрузка.
Thought I was going down then.
Watch, don't put too many G's or something, so that's positive.
Alright. Laps. Put my down. Parachute. No parachute at the back.
Скорость предельная. Скорость предельная. Переведи в напор.
There was no parachute. And a MiG-2 Harrier. Oh, I don't know. It's an SU something. Perfect landing. Just not the stopping part. It's an SU-25T. There you go. I'll type it in the chat. SU-25T. There you go. That's about it. Let's try something I haven't done before. How about that? Quit. Close. Landing. Unguided bombing. Unguided rockets. Internal cannon. Gun pods. Laser guided missile. Air to air missiles. Air to air missile sounds good. Let's do that. I'll do this quickly and then I'll have to head off. No doubt nothing's set up for it. It's usually typical. What do we got? Air-to-air missiles. Ooh, this looks good. Air-to-air missile mode is 6. Weapon select D. Release weapon spacebar. Destroy target helicopter.
Although the Su-25T was built to kill ground targets, it does have a minimal capability to attack other aircraft. In addition to being able to attack air targets with low crossing velocities with the Vickr, in the same manner we discussed earlier regarding ground units, the Su-25T can also be loaded with short-range R-60M and R-73 air-to-air missiles. I have the lesson paused as we discuss these missiles. Go ahead and press 6 to enter air-to-air mode. In the bottom left corner of the HUD, we now have an LNGT indication that is short for longitudinal missile aiming mode, meaning they will need to fly the aircraft to align the target with the fixed infrared missile seeker. In the center of the HUD, we have a seeker aiming cross. In the bottom right corner of the HUD, we have a 60M indication that means the active air-to-air missile is the R-60M. Press the spacebar to continue. The R-60M is a short-range, infrared-guided air-to-air missile with a best possible range of 8 kilometers. The R-60M has a small 3-kilogram expanding rod warhead, and the seeker has a limited all-aspect tracking capability. Given its small warhead, a single R-60M hit cannot be guaranteed to destroy the aircraft. As such, you may need to fire 2 to increase the damage and better assure a hit when faced with flare countermeasures. Press D to select the R-73. The R-73 Archer is now selected, as indicated by the 73 in the lower right corner of the HUD. The R-73 is a very capable missile with an excellent all-aspect infrared seeker, great maneuverability, and a large warhead. The R-73 has a maximum range of 30 kilometers in optimal conditions, but the range limitation is most often based on the seeker's ability to attain a lock. Press the spacebar to unpause the lesson. I've placed a target helicopter 6 kilometers ahead of you. Fly the aircraft to place the aiming cross on the center of the HUD over the target. When you hear a high-pitched tone, it indicates that the missile seeker has locked onto the target. When you have a lock tone, press and hold the spacebar to launch the missile.
Well, that sounds easy enough. Oh. Might help if I just keep on target. Whee.
Splash 1. I've activated another target coming at you from waypoint 1. Feel free to try a different missile, or you can end the lesson now by pressing the escape key.
Only got one missile left. Oh, ejected. What else we got on board here? Access anything else? Oh, destroyed.
Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор.
Pull up. Pull up. Can we get a couple of them power lines or what?
Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки.
What have we done?
Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка.
Not eject.
Осталось 1500 килограмм. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Переведи в набор. Предельный угол атаки. 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 Предельная перегрузка. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельная перегрузка. 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 Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки. Предельный угол атаки.
Well, we all know how that's going to end. Oh, that was good.